Coming up on Chapman News, protesters in front of Chapman. We'll tell you what they're asking for.
And later, we'll sit down with the founder of the Newport Beach Film Festival, plus...
Coming up on Chapman News, the best campus sports show on the road this week. We have a live report from Sacramento. Keep it right here. This is Chapman News.
Hello everyone and welcome to Chapman News. I'm Tom Jackson.
And I'm Katharine Lathrop. We start at Fullerton. A high school teacher was removed from campus earlier this week. Is back on the job. Wes Rappaport has the update from the school district.
It all started earlier this month during Fullerton Union High School's Mr. Fullerton pageant when Assistant Principal Joe Abel removed a student off the stage after the student went off script during the question and answer portion of the event. Senior Kieran Gertz was asked a question about where he saw himself in 10 years. He replied with an answer that was different from the script that had already been agreed upon. He came out of the closet and was kicked out of the competition.
I just want to be able to sit on a couch by the person that I love and happily proclaim that we're married. And hopefully 10 years from now, I'll be able to do that if gay marriage is legal.
Students at the school began a campaign questioning Abel's decision to remove Gertz from the pageant, asking him where he saw himself in 10 years. Last week, Mr. Abel made an announcement over the school's PA system.
At the Mr. Fullerton competition, I made a judgment call during the question and answer portion of the competition that I sincerely regret making. For doing this, I am truly and sincerely sorry.
The school currently has no policies addressing the topics of gay rights or sexual orientation, and Gertz told the school he does not want any action taken. He just wants everyone to be more aware of students' opinions. Mr. Abel was removed from campus for just 2 days this week. He returned back to school as a vice principal on Wednesday. And according to a statement from the district superintendent, Mr. Abel requested a transfer to another district school as a classroom teacher for the next academic year. That request was approved in January. Reporting from Fullerton, I'm Wes Rappaport, Chapman News.
It should be noted that Vice Principal Abel's decision to relocate schools has had no bearing on this latest situation.
American Bandstand host and TV icon Dick Clark died on Wednesday due to a heart attack. Known as the world's oldest teenager, Clark hosted America's Bandstand from 1956 to its last season in 1989. The show was one of television's longest-running series. His company, Dick Clark Production, created movies, beauty pageants for TV, game and music shows including the $25,000 Pyramid and the American Music Awards in 1972. He created the Dick Clark New Year's Rockin' Eve, entertaining Americans as they welcomed the new year. Clark was a true pioneer who revolutionized the way we listen to music. Dick Clark passes at the age of 82.
Much closer to home, Chapman University also lost a member of its family this week. While on a trip with his students in New Orleans, Professor John Flowers died at age 72 from a heart attack. He was attending the National Conference for Society of Behavioral Medicine. Flowers was a psychology professor in the Crane School of Health and Life Sciences for 31 years at Chapman. He was recognized as a very influential person to the development of psychology, serving as department chair and director of the clinical graduate program. His close friend and coworker Stephen Chandler stated everybody recognized that he represented the best in an instructor and a colleague.
In his State of the City address, Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villagrosa called for an extension of Measure R. Measure R is a half-cent sales tax increase that voters approved in 2008 that runs until 2039. Mayor Villagrosa says extending Measure R will mean more transit revenue to the city. The city faces a $220 million budget deficit. He's also talked about his desire to expand jobs for the people of LA.
We have to do everything we can to accelerate the recovery, house by house, block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood, to put people back to work.
Yesterday was Holocaust Remembrance Day. As part of Chapman's commemoration, students and staff performed excerpts from The Trials of God by Elie Wiesel. Wiesel, who was imprisoned at Auschwitz, is known not only for surviving the Holocaust, but becoming a successful writer, activist, professor, and Nobel laureate. Wiesel's week-long visit marks the second of 5 annual appointments to speak at Chapman.
It was such an honor to have the opportunity to work with this text and these stories. It was also nerve-wracking because we so wanted to do justice to this amazing play.
When somebody that great is in the room, you do it for them from your heart. That's what you're there to do, is to serve him and serve his words.
Something looks different around Chapman University. For the past few weeks, protesters have been present on campus. Lathrop Davia explains why.
It was quite the scene this past week at Chapman University, where a street demonstration took place on 2 major corners of the university's campus. The demonstration, involving members of the Carpenters Union from sections 803 and 2361, was in regards to a labor dispute against C&F Concrete Incorporated, a contracting company hired by the university to do some groundwork. But when asked to defend their claims, it seems as though no one was willing to speak about the subject matter.
Well, the only comment I would have is that some of it's positive, some of it's negative, so it's typical.
What is this whole labor dispute about?
Well, I believe he gave you the flyer, so we're not really here to elaborate.
All we were left with was this 8x11 flyer condemning Chapman for allegedly ripping off the community and saying how they should better pay their workers.
When I first saw it, I was kind of hurt. I tried to peer around because I was coming from the back. I was trying to peer around to see what it exactly said, but it's not really descriptive. So, I'm kind of hurt because it's my school.
I don't see how Chapman could rip off our community, being that we bring so many people here.
To be honest, I didn't even know about it. I wasn't aware of it until I was studying in the library and I saw a pamphlet on the table saying what had happened.
Although no one knows how long these street demonstrations will last, one thing is for sure. These protesters aren't willing to stop until they get some answers. I'm Lathrop Davia, Chapman News.
The Carpenters Union claims that President Doty has done nothing to ensure area wage standards are met for their workers. The Newport Beach Film Festival is the largest local film festival in Orange County. Today we have a very special guest from the event, the founder of the festival himself, Mr. Greg Schwenk.
Greg, thanks for joining us today.
Proud to be here.
So how did the film festival come about, Greg?
Well, this is our 13th year, and really, when it started, it was very small, and now we've grown to over 460 films from 50 different countries. We're putting on over 18 major events and satellite events from major studios, distribution companies, and an array of filmmakers doing and hosting their own activities.
All right. What challenges did the film festival face, especially early on, while trying to make a name for itself?
Well, I think the big thing we looked at is leading with our strengths. And that was one, a beautiful location. You can't really beat Newport Beach. Orange County is an awesome place to have a film festival. And then our proximity. We've been able to work very closely with major people from Hollywood to bring them down and talk to our audience, both at our seminar programs, which are free, as well as post-film Q&As. So it's been a real treat to be able to put it all together.
Now, there was a film festival in this location previously. What set apart the Newport Beach Film Festival from the last one?
Well, I think we look at it that it's a great array of staff that do an incredibly professional job, and it's one of those things where, again, I can't even think back that far as what was different with that old one than ours.
All right. What would you say is the biggest accomplishment of this festival, in your opinion?
Well, I think there are really 2 things I think about when people ask me what are some of the high points of the festival the last couple of years. Obviously, being the U.S. premiere for Crash, as well as the West Coast premiere for The Cove that went on to win Best Documentary. But also, for me personally, special intimate moments with people where you had Richard Sherman. He and his brother composed all the music for Mary Poppins, Small World, Jungle Book. And Richard Sherman did a private performance for people on the baby grand piano of all the music from Mary Poppins. And there's just no other experience you're going to have like that anywhere else. And so it was just a really special moment.
Now, Greg, what can we expect to see this year at the film festival?
Well, I think what's really important, especially for Chapman students, is that this is a very accessible opportunity to see great film before it gets out anywhere else and to meet the people that made the film. So We've got over 460 films, 50 different countries. Our opening night's Jutopia, it's a world premiere, incredible cast. Our closing night, Shanghai Calling, also a world premiere, incredible cast. But every night of the week, we have special opportunities for people to come out and experience the festival.
Well, thank you very much, Greg.
Greg.
This is the 13th annual Newport Beach Film Festival. Jutopia is the opening film. Best of luck, Greg. We'll be there.
Thanks very much.
Coming up later, Matt Pritchard will join us live from Sacramento with his report on why the Kings' move to Anaheim has resurfaced. But first, Guillermo Loyola will tell us about this week's weather. How's it look this week?
Well, I'll tell you what, Kat, it's going to be hot, hot, hot this week. After the break, I'll tell you how to keep cool throughout this heat. You're watching Chapman News.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University, a diverse, well-rounded education. Art, dance, music, theater. Empower your future. The performing arts at Chapman University. Create. Follow your dreams. Chapman University. History, philosophy, peace studies, languages. Study abroad and explore the world. Become a global citizen. The Wilkinson College at Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead.
Welcome back to Chapman News. I'm Tom Jackson.
And I'm Katharine Lathrop. Tom, this last few days have been beautiful. Fortunately, I've had to work and been in school, so I haven't been able to go out and enjoy it. What about you?
I mean, I think I've been enjoying it a little too much. Unbeknownst to most, under this suit, I'm a little red from some sunburn. But Guillermo, what's going on in the weather this week? Am I going to need some of that SPF 100?
You are definitely going to need some SPF 100 sunscreen. Let's take a look at Boston, where it's going to be 73. 81 in the Big Easy. On the West Coast, it's going to be 97 in Phoenix. Now let's take a look at California. In the Bay Area, it's going to be 69. LA is going to be a little bit on the cooler side at 67. Now let's take a look at the 5-day forecast, where it's going to be perfect beach weather. 87 today, 86 tomorrow, and lows in the high 50s. For those of you going out to the wine festival in Dana Point, don't worry about it. The weather's going to be nice and toasty. And some tips on how to stay hot, stay cool in the heat. Make sure you stay hydrated, wear lots of sunglasses and sunscreen, stay in the shade, limit your physical activity, and make sure to wear light, loose-fitting clothing. That's all I have for today for weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Guillermo. And now we will talk politics with Kyla. Kyla, what's going on in the political world?
Well, nothing we like to hear is happening with our government, but a lot of inappropriate scandals. The Secret Service has caused quite an uproar this week. A dozen agents that were working in Colombia preparing the president's visit were sent home after allegations of excess drinking and the hiring and soliciting of prostitutes.
Of course I'll be angry, because my attitude with respect to the Secret Service personnel is no different than what I expect out of my delegation that's sitting here. We're representing the people of the United States. We're here on behalf of our people. And that means that we conduct ourselves with the utmost dignity and probity. And obviously what's been reported doesn't match up with those standards.
Question, we're working on security in advance to the president's visit. The service officials accused of misconduct in Colombia revealed their identities by boasting at a brothel that they worked for the U.S. president. According to police and the club bouncer, the men paid for the sexual services in advance, but when it came time to settle the bill, there was a dispute over the charges. The members of the Secret Service team were relieved of their duties the day Obama arrived to the South American nation. These men are now being investigated, along with as many of 20 members of the military who may have been involved in the partying. Top officials from the General Service Agency are being accused of irresponsibly spending taxpayer dollars by partaking in luxury getaways and holding lavish conferences on the taxpayer dime. There was a hearing Monday on Capitol Hill where U.S. General Services Commissioner Jeffrey Neely was being targeted for planning an $820,000 conference in Las Vegas. Shortly after that, he took his wife to Hawaii on a taxpayer-funded trip. When questioned at the hearing, Neely declined to answer any questions, pleading the Fifth Amendment. The committee will continue its investigation using all the resources at its disposal. Florida Judge Jessica Rex Seidler, who is overseeing the George Zimmerman second-degree murder case, stepped down this week. Rex Seidler concluded that the totality of the circumstances made her decide to hand the case to another judge. The man to take over has high ratings from defense lawyers, but isn't known to have a soft touch. Seminole County Circuit Judge Kenneth Lester Jr. was assigned to the case Wednesday afternoon. Lester has been a judge since 1996, previously handling juvenile, probate, and mental health cases. A bond hearing for Zimmerman is set to happen today, where Lester will start up with the case. Fueled by frustration, a group called Generation Opportunity is starting an online petition to tell President Obama that gas prices are too high. The petition asks the President Obama and his administration ease the restrictions on domestic energy exploration and open up more land for offshore drilling. In an already tough economy, the group...
We see a generation that's engaged. They're very equipped with technology. They get their news 24 hours a day, and they're not detached. They're just as intelligent as everybody else. They demand information. And when you step back and think about it, this is a generation that went through 9/11. They volunteered to fight in 2 wars. They were the first on the ground down in Katrina to help a city clean up and rebuild. It's a great generation. So when folks try to dismiss them, I actually don't think they're talking to enough of them.
In an already tough economy, the group is hoping this petition will lower gas prices long-term and ease additional pressure gas prices are creating for Americans. The petition can be found on their Facebook page, Gas Prices Are Too Damn High. That's all for politics. Thanks. Tom, Katharine, have you guys had to cut down on any road trips because of gas prices?
Well, I drove my car out here, and I don't think I'm going to be doing that one again.
Coming up after the break, our sports team has traveled a long way to bring you a very special report.
And Trent will have all our Chapman highlights. Trent?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Dan Herron making his first start for the Halos. We'll see how he fared in Anaheim. Plus, Matt Pritchard is standing by in Sacramento with a live report with the Kings. Matt? That's right, Trent. We're in the state capitol, fooling around here trying to find out what's the latest on the Kings and their new arena deal. All that and more when you return. It's Chapman News.
This is Chicago, home of the Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks, and this city loves Chapman News.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University. Chemistry, physics, computational science, biology. Start doing research in your first year. Soar to new heights. The Schmidt College of Science at Chapman University. Explore.
Welcome back to Chapman News. I'm Katharine Lathrop.
And I'm Tom Jackson. Thanks for staying with us.
I'm so happy it's baseball season. I'm actually going to the Angel game tonight. Can't wait.
I'm pretty jealous. I love this time of year, though. Baseball's going. We got basketball wrapping up, and hockey season's in playoffs. How's it going?
Yeah, you got the hockey teams in the playoffs in LA. You got Staples Center's busy. Lakers, Clippers, Kings, all playing in the postseason. Meanwhile, the drama continues to swirl around the Sacramento Kings and where they will be playing their home games in the future. Last year, a move to Anaheim seemed the likely destination. Now a rumor flaring up again. Chapman News reporter Matt Pritchard has spent the last few days with the Kings. He is live in Sacramento. Matt? Yeah, Trent, we've taken the best campus sports show on the road, and we are here in the state capitol covering the latest on the Sacramento Kings and their new arena deal with the city of Sacramento. Now, there was a deal in place that would have put a brand new facility in downtown Sacramento for the 2014-2015 season. Now, that deal, estimated at $391 million, looked to be a lock, but early Friday morning, the Kings ownership group bowing out. Now, players and fans back to worrying whether their team is going to be around for much longer. The Sacramento Kings
a team that many in Los Angeles associate as bitter rivals of both the Los Angeles Lakers and Clippers. But for fans in Sacramento, the last 2 seasons have been riddled with rumors of the team leaving because of an arena dispute with the city.
Sacramento's, that's all they got is the Kings. There's no football team, there's no baseball team. All we got is the Kings. So, if the Kings leave, what else we got?
I became a Kings fan when they first moved to Sacramento. I need my boys. I need my team in Sacramento. It's where they belong. This is home.
For 27 years, the Kings have called Sacramento home. But this isn't the first time the team has dealt with the threat of moving. Founded in the early 1920s, the Kings joined the NBA in 1945 as the Rochester Royals. Over the next 60 years, they would make 3 moves to Cincinnati, Kansas City, and eventually landing in Sacramento. With the Kings ownership group turning down the latest offer, city officials are beginning to worry the team may be on the move again.
For everyone, it was disappointing to see, what everyone felt was a fair deal on the table and to see them back out of that. People in Sacramento know that we need jobs more than anything in this economy, and one of the great things about this project was creating thousands of jobs in the next 2 years.
The Kings players are also aware of the pending arena controversy and are hoping to keep the team in Sacramento, if only for the fans.
Wins, losses, they're still there. They support us, even with the issues going on now, with the whole team moving and all that. They're still here for us. So we love our fans. They're incredible for us, and they get us through most of our games.
And see that they're very passionate, always here, at the games, always supporting us, whether we were winning or losing, and that's a great thing to have.
With the $391 million arena deal falling through, the fans and players will continue to hope the 2 sides can reach an agreement in the coming days. And Trent, this fan base here in Sacramento defines passion and dedication, even with a team that really hasn't played very well the last couple seasons. The question now, though, should the Maloofs decide to move the team, where are they going to go? Anaheim's still a major contender for the team, but also cities like Seattle still in the running.
Matt, what's the perception around town about the Maloofs? Do Kings fans really believe that they are interested in staying in Sacramento?
I don't think so, Trent. From what I've seen, public officials and fans alike, they feel like the Maloofs are almost dodging trying to stay in Sacramento. It's kind of a controversy right now. Right now, I think fans thinking that the Maloofs can't make the same amount of money here that they could make in a market like Anaheim or Seattle. So we'll have to wait and see. But right now, the Maloofs not making any friends in the state capital.
Great, Matt. Thank you very much for that report. A little closer to home, Blake Griffin and the Clippers in Phoenix against Steve Nash. And the Suns, they're trying to get into the playoffs. They'd have a tough way to go about doing that. Let's go in the first quarter. Ball comes loose. Chris Paul picking up the trash. And then this alley-oop to Blake Griffin for the slam. Gotta like that. What's a Clipper highlight without Blake Griffin? And then Chris Paul again, nice pass. Griffin going, finesse, lays it up and in. Teammates approve. Fourth quarter now. Clippers, all kinds of fun. Behind the back, and then Robin Lopez would have none of it. Take another look. A hard foul rips his arm around Griffin's neck. He'd be ejected. That will be an expensive phone call from the commissioner, I'm sure. Under 2 minutes to play. Steve Nash, look at this, just clutch. Lays it in high off the glass, coming off the screen. 7.7 to go. Clippers, they're trying to work it to Chris Paul. They're not able to do that. Mo Williams, 3-ball. In and out. Last chance for the Clips.
2 seconds to go. Guarding the inbounds passer. And here's the pass. Here is Griffin. Suns win.
Suns get the huge home victory. And if the season ended today, they would be in the playoffs. Clippers in that 4 seed behind these guys. Final score in that game, 93-90. These guys being the Los Angeles Lakers, who traveled to San Antonio tonight for their 3rd game against the Spurs this week. The rubber match will likely include Kobe Bryant, who missed the first 2 contests with a shin injury. The Lakers are now just 2 wins away from clinching that 3 seed in the West. And the way it stands now, the Lakers would face off against the Dallas Mavericks. Forgot about them? Not quite. The Lakers just faced them a year ago in the 2nd round of the 2011 playoffs. So the Lakers, quite frankly, were embarrassed. The hockey craze is back in SoCal. Closet fans coming out to support the LA Kings, and why not? The Kings got out to a big 3-0 lead before dropping Game 4 Wednesday night. They will look to end the series once again on Sunday morning in Vancouver and move along in their quest for King Stanley's Cup. Here's a look at what the rest of the series could look like. If the Kings drop Game 5, this thing wide open. Game 6 is in LA, and you have to figure that is their best chance to wrap things up. If we get to Game 7, that will be played on Thursday in Vancouver and will be no easy task. Coming into this season, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim had some pretty high expectations. How about the highest expectations in team history? So far, so bad. While it may only be April, fans in Anaheim are beginning to get a bit frustrated as they hope showers of L's lead to quite the blossoming for the rest of the season. Only one Angel starter is hitting above 300. Albert Pujols has not hit a home run in 54 at-bats, and it was just Wednesday night that they were blanked by a pitcher that has spent more time in the buffet line than on the pitcher's mound, and he being a former Angel, no less. It's a long baseball season, and in baseball, the true talent eventually finds its way to the top. In the meantime, the Halos entered Thursday night 4-8 in dead last in the AL West. Oh yeah, and Mike Napoli, the guy you traded away, 5 home runs in the last 4 games, and the Rangers up 7 games in the division. Dan Herron repping the red, making his home debut with the Halos. Top of the second inning, runner on, Kurt Suzuki rips it down the left field line. Seth Smith, look at those wheels, blazing around the base pass. Cutoff throw not in time. He scores. A's take the early 1-0 lead. Let's skip ahead to the 4th inning. Here's Smith again. Yeah, checks his swing. Little roller back to the mound. Take your time, Dan. Plenty of time. Whoop! Through the legs of Albert Pujols. Yeah, that's a mess. You don't want to do that. Run trots in, and then Johnny Gomes play at the plate, sticks the landing. French judge doesn't like it. Doesn't matter. Socha doesn't like it either. The run scores. A's go on to beat the Angels 4-2, scoring 4 runs on 3 hits. The Angels 3 errors in the game. Ironically, 2 of them from Eric Ibar, who was presented with his 2011 Gold Glove before the first pitch. On our own campus, there haven't been many bright spots for the Chapman baseball team this season with their 13-19 record. That hasn't stopped Panther ace Brian Rao from steamrolling D3 lineups all season long. The future draft prospect has been named SCIAC Player of the Week in addition to being selected to the D3 Team of the Week. Now in his junior year, Rao continues to put up numbers only found in video games and is still only 1 loss in his entire career, 3 full seasons. Rao 5-1 this season to go along with his 1.12 ERA and 91 strikeouts, good enough to be 3rd best in the country. Let's take a look at where we'll find the Panther baseball team and the rest of our athletes this weekend. Chapman will get a heavy dose of Whittier over the course of the weekend. Men's tennis will playing host to the Poets this afternoon. The softball team will take on Whittier in a doubleheader. Women's water polo in action Saturday afternoon playing, you guessed it, Whittier. Brian Rao, the Panther baseball team, hosts Whitman out of the Northwest. That will be a doubleheader. And that's the latest in sports. Back to you guys.
Trent, I cannot believe you didn't mention the release of the NFL schedule.
I know you're excited about football. Trust me, I am too. Let's let the draft happen first, and then we'll get some football. How's that sound?
All right, well, that's enough sports for today. Let's send it on over to Taylor Wing, who's got all the gossip from around Hollywood.
That's right. I'll tell you the next ridiculous thing Kim Kardashian is getting herself into. I also have details on Brangelina's long-awaited engagement. And if you find yourself wondering what's new in Orange County, I've got a few events for you to check out. All this and more coming up in entertainment.
Welcome to the all-new Chapman Radio. With over 100 live DJs, music, talk, and sports 24 hours a day, and content determined entirely by the student on air, Chapman Radio is alternative radio at its finest.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to The Score here, Chapman Radio and ChapmanRadio.com.
And now Chapman Radio is more accessible than ever. You can listen from anywhere in the world on ChapmanRadio.com and also on your iPhone. The station is broadcast on campus in Henley Underground and on the first floor of Arduous Forum. Yes, I can see you. Anyone can join, experienced or not, which is what makes college radio so unique. Recently, the all-new Chapman Radio has taken its quality beyond the studio. Anyone can request Chapman Radio to provide a live DJ at any event or party. All this, combined with the most serious DJs, diverse music, and quality show content we've ever had, no time is better to make the all-new Chapman Radio a part of your student life as a listener, or maybe even as a DJ. It's unlike any college radio station you've ever encountered. Chapman Radio. It's your new best friend.
And we're back. I'm Tom Jackson.
And I'm Katharine Lathrop. You're watching Chapman News. We start off this block of the show with entertainment. Tom, what's going on in your life? Anything interesting?
No, unfortunately not. But Taylor here, I hear, has some news in the entertainment industry to maybe brighten up my weekend. Taylor, what's going on?
That's right, Tom. As if 3 reality shows doesn't keep her busy enough, TV starlet Kim Kardashian has decided to add one more thing to her resume, Mayor of Glendale.
So Noelle and I are like looking into all the requirements, and I'm literally going to have she's going to help me with my campaign.
That's so cool.
Because it's like Armenian town.
Us Weekly contacted Kim's rep to see if she actually intends to run for office. The rep replied, Kim has always looked for opportunities to grow and also does what she can to help and support the Armenian community. It's unclear at this point whether the star is actually trying to secure a bid for mayor. However, if elected, we all better free some space on our TiVos for keeping up with the mayor. 2 of Hollywood's royalty have finally decided to tie the knot. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie have confirmed their engagement. After 7 years together and 6 kids, Brangelina's rep released a statement that the power couple will make their love official in a French Riviera wedding. Brad, with the help of the 6 kids, proposed to Angie with a 15-carat, $500,000 diamond ring. No details have been announced as to when this fairy tale will get their happy ending. Last week, Chapman's Greeks got together to put on a show, and they did just that. Ranging from a Titanic parody to a tribute to the seasons, there was something for everyone. In case you missed it, SAE took home the gold, followed closely by Theta in second and Delta Gamma in third. SAE's controversial depiction of the Titanic shocked the audience, but won over the judges.
I'm on cloud 9, man. I'm really excited. We really pulled together for this last week. Everyone in our chapter helped out. We had one of my friends, John Hume, wrote the whole skit. Hysterical, that set us up, and then we had a couple different guys working on the audio, mixing the songs together, and then we all just worked on the dances. Everyone kind of gave their opinion, and it all came together. I don't think it could have gone any better, and I'm just so proud of my chapter and everything we all put into it.
Congratulations, everybody, and we look forward to seeing all your skits next year. For those of you dreaming of seeing the famous Spring Awakening on Broadway, but haven't had the chance to make the trek to the Big Apple, listen up. The famous Broadway musical is coming to you. Santa Ana's Theater Out will be hosting the musical, which is known for its raw and honest sexuality. Portraying a group of young teenagers on the brink of adulthood, the musical also lightly touches on the themes of abuse and suicide. The Tony Award-winning Broadway production is in Orange County until May 5th, with tickets starting at just $20. And everything is a little more interesting when you add some alcohol, which brings us to the California Wine Festival, which will be making an appearance in Dana Point this weekend. Starting tonight, the event includes a lineup of over 80 wineries, offering generous tastings that will leave the most seasoned wine veteran, well, sideways. The festival also features food from 30 OC restaurants and vendors. Tickets start at $100, and those who survive tonight's festivities can meet back up with the festival Saturday at Doheny Beach. So Tom, Kat, are you guys going to check out Spring Awakening or let loose at the Wine Festival?
You know, I'm not sure yet. Maybe go check out the Wine Festival. Sounds really fun, but I don't know. What about you?
Well, I'm not 21, so the Wine Festival, maybe not. And theater isn't my thing, but I'm sure I can find something to get on.
Log on to our website, chapmannews.tv, to see all of our videos, new staff bios, and top headlines. And make sure you also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Chapman News, Twitter at Chapman News, and YouTube at youtube.com/Chapman News.
That's all for this week. We'll see you next time. I'm Tom Jackson.
And I'm Katharine Lathrop. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry about that.
What a swinger I am on a